I know, team. I know. These are scary Larry Jerry times here within the price of I mean, not too sure about Bitcoin itself, but sure, XRP dropping to these numbers down here. We actually spoke about these targets during the Arca Bulls trading team session this AM. We expressed the bottom side at around 277.58 to around 278.83, and now that I'm observing the chart and giving myself the opportunity to study it from different perspectives, I do have some critical things to talk about here for the more immediate short term, but it is just part of the immediate short term, as many times these situations present an opportunity for retail, right, guys? So before we get started, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, coming at you here on October 9th, Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we are sitting on spot price action here, XRP at 280.53, with a bottom side of this wick here just at around 8 a.m. Pacific time, October 9th, right? And that's bottom side of about 277.38 from the 277.58 that we were expecting. Nice little bounce from there all the way up to the targets of 283.10, but that also could be an equal reaction move to the prior trend and a validation for potential continuation for a downside here. Now, the downside, remember, guys, that you are near areas of absolute liquidity and absolute demand. So should it be that we are getting ourselves ready to test some of these lows here, sure, well, let it be, right? This is part of a kind of a, this is part of that ladder down type of strategy happening within the price action here of XRP. So I do have these targets already kind of noted down here for you. And I will also mention that failing these, specifically this bottom side target here, should not happen. If there is any failure of this 265.22, specifically with daily closures beneath that area, peekaboos can happen, that's all good, right? But failing this area would be of absolute catastrophic events, which would, bring you down into the targets of around 259. Pull back up, get you that validation of 269 from there, and then you could actually start observing the potentials of around that 250.57, 250.78. Remember, these lows can be touched, they can be, but if we close below the 265 with daily time frames, that would be very, very much not good. Okay, guys. So the closing valuations are what we want to talk about here, and everything is going to be cool. All right, team. So I want to also talk to you about this, and you know what? This is presenting to me the I don't want to say high probabilities, but they are good probabilities of a continuation to the downside on XRP. And that would just be, like I'm saying, guys, it's just in fear of whatever happened in the, with Jay Powell, with initial jobless claims. I don't even know if that actually came out just yet. But all of the macro data can all accumulate here and add some fear into the end of a week for spot price action and for traditional markets. Okay, so let's go ahead and shift over why I'm thinking that this is a high probability downside. But first, please remember, guys, that if you get approached by any Arca, quote unquote, just saying that, whatever, I'm never going to approach you first. I'm never going to message you first. And I'm never going to, friend request you first. Just if you're getting approached by an Arca, that's not me. All right, guys, dead on, straight up. I will never, ever approach you with any type of request or nothing, guys, all right? So that is out of the way, and let's go ahead and now observe this, this following chart right over here. Okay, so this is your tether dominance, right? We've been talking about this on and off here for a few times. And you can see that usually when we touch this relative bottom side, right, there are some pretty unique reactions to price action reaching some new, some extraordinary upside here. So that upside would be inverse the market, and this would show downside on risk on crypto coins, right? So as this USDT, the tether dominance fills, that means that people are exiting their liquidity from XDC, HBAR, XLM, right? They fill their USDT up, which makes dominance on tether rise. right? So this is what could happen here. I am going to acknowledge that there are probabilities of resistances that are absolutely notable, like for example around these targets here, specifically that 4.48% right around these areas, right? So you could actually draw in a little bit of a bull trap here, or a bear trap actually, within your risk on assets. Now, observing this from a psychological standpoint, absolutely we are noticing here pretty nice inverse head and shoulders here, guys. So this is your shoulder, head, shoulder, and embedded within it could be an even smaller time frame inverse head and shoulders too, suggesting upside. Now, I get it, right? I know I see that little head and shoulders there. It's all good, but the general upside is to complete this one here. And that does have some upside targets up there. So let's just go ahead and kind of draw that in. This is your top side target of where we were just talking about, right? We were experiencing a 4.48 to maybe around the 4.50. Top bound could be around 4.52. So I believe that that is an area of resistance that we would potentially fall into, should it be that there is actual play in those areas. So right about there, right? As soon as we can resist here on USDT, then, you know, likely a downside would follow this, right? And that would be the upside and I guess the completion of the downside on your XRP asset. So if we can, for now, right, just combine these two targets here, I think that everything will be cool. So kind of take this into account here. 4.52 top side, 4.48 bottom side. Let's draw this in here just in case, so we can get that middle bound, and you know, just so that we all kind of know the play. So I guess the middle bound is going to be just a little bit higher here. I would say roughly about yeah, I guess right around here. You're 4.50, so not quite that center exactly, but close enough to consider. So let's just go ahead and put that 4.50 there. Let's get rid of this here and this here, and take a look at this resistance and observe it. Okay, guys. So yeah, remember that the targets to the downside that I'm looking at for XRP are, you know, it could be, yes, guys, it could be again that we can face this bottom side of a 27758. It's not only that we have those targets available, right? We still have some in-betweeners around there that are still kind of being, you know, not mentioned at the present moment. So specifically, if we focus on further downsides, then yeah, you're looking at this 275.84 to roughly around 274.24, 274.24. Yeah, we have that area noted here. And then, okay, yeah, guys, I just, it really is around this zone here. But should you have any chance for bounces, yeah, that would be those two areas that I just pointed out right about here. So yeah, just kind of take this with a grain of salt, guys. Please remember that we are within areas that a lot of people say. I got to remind you of this. You know, when this thing was running at around $3.30, $3.38, how many people would say like, "Oh damn, dude, I wish it would just go back to 260. I would like load the boat like super hard, bro." Right? And you know, here we are, and you know, remember, guys, it's if you're playing XRP, if you're playing crypto, then the usual type of strategy here would just be to buy it, right? Buy at the very lows when everybody's super fearful, and sell at those highs when everybody's like ridiculously bullish, right? It's your general Warren Buffett strategy there, guys. So all good in the hood. Remember these targets, guys. Keep them in mind. Please play very safe in the market, and everything would be good. Here are your targets, just so that you kind of know what these what the numbers are kind of looking like here. All right, team. So I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Should you have any questions or concerns, reach out to me, and everything will be cool. All right, guys. So yeah, we will talk very scary Jerry Larry later. I almost messed it all up there. Adios, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the Bell Mañana. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.